Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Cognax about creating the missing Digimon DNA Digivolutions, or as they are sometimes called, Jogress evolutions. I don't know what Jogress means, but I'm not gonna care about it. So let's hop in and see who becomes what.
XV
No, that didn't kind of work, and that was loud as hell.
Stingmon DNA Digivolve True. This is embarrassing.
There
You
we
caught
go.
me at a vulnerable moment. Back on the shelves, boys. Yes, I am a Digimon Adventure 02 fan, so naturally I love DNA Digivolution, Jogress Evolution, whatever you prefer to call it, and
DNA.
sometimes Fusion Evolution. What's up, Omnimon? But it's my personal opinion, there are tons of Digimon pairings, friends, rivals, who are missing DNA Digivolutions. And so on today's video, with some wonderful artists, let's fix that.
Oh no!
Preparing
I could have said whom becomes who. There we go. Oh, that would have been brilliant.
artist fairly does cost money, and that's why
Up, and we're gonna cut, and boom.
the custom art. And our first DNA Digivolution pairing for this video are Mummymon and Arukenimon, who
Really?
Alltrade came aboard to design Circmon. Alltrade
So, hold on. We're getting a DNA Digivolution for the, I guess you could say, antagonist of Digimon 02. And, okay, well, I already paused the art, and I gotta say, this is kind of badass. Took the Egyptians themes and the Arachnid themes to literally create an Egyptian spider. I like it, Con. I like it a lot.
actually designed Circmon many moons ago, just for
Really?
funsies that he sent to me, but now has refined it into this beautiful Digimon. Circmon is
Not
based on the
bad.
Egyptian goddess Serket, the goddess of healing venomous stings and bites in Egyptian mythology, and originally the deification of the scorpion. Kinda makes sense to us that the spider
okay.
lady, an arachnid, and a mummy DNA digivolving would become a scorpion. Scorpions
Yeah.
are also arachnids, the Scorpion King, you know, it's all there. Alltrade was
Yeah, it all
inspired by
fits.
the 02 finale and the World of Dreams, picturing perhaps the 02 kids sympathizing with Mummymon and Arukenimon after their horrendous destruction at the hands of Malomyotismon, with
yeah.
that empathy, sympathy, and
remember that.
love reaching out and creating Circmon in the dream dimension, which is why the crest of love is on her scorpion brooch. Circmon is a
Oh yeah, that's right. I actually remember that scene a lot now. Arukenimon was pretty much destroyed by Venomyotismon for money. Then Mummymon pretty much just went out, tried to get revenge, but you know he had no chance. So he was pretty much eradicated in moments later. Whew, that was a moment.
strange Jogress. The two halves of Arukenimon and Mummymon not quite conjoined, meaning that sometimes the more Arukenimon head takes umbrage with the silly things that the scorpion Mummymon body says. However, this is a absolutely terrifying and powerful Digimon. With the machine
like
gun
it.
on its stinger and its incredibly strong upper body, this Digimon will ensnare its prey and bury them beneath the sand, with its signature move, the Grand Entombment. Then next up is a pairing that I've always personally wanted to see DNA Digivolve, and HLR stepped in to DNA
So that's what you
Digivolve
got?
Rapidmon and Antilamon. Rapidmon and Antilamon feel the
okay.
closest to me in the Lopmon Terriermon evolution family. Gargomon and Terurumon feeling like very much opposite, same with Mega Gargomon and the two Cherubimons, but Rapidmon and
give you that.
Antilamon feel like the optimum point for these two to DNA Digivolve, which is what led to the creation of Taumon, getting its name from Tau, the Greek letter used as a symbol of life and resurrection. It could also be pronounced Tor, so it could be Tormon, just to differentiate it from the very similar Taumon that already exists. So this is a cyber angel, folding in elements of
Not
Rapidmon
bad.
and Antilamon underneath, but also even Golden Rapidmon with the golden elements and the Crest of Destiny, evoking feelings you
golden
might get from
accents,
angels such as Metatron, which is where the connection to Devas and indeed Sovereigns on the Antilamon side comes in. I love that HLR went with a much more sleek design here, because the very bulky Mega Gargomon is what a lot of people dislike about the Terriermon evolution line, hoping that Rapidmon could become something more rapid, which is why I've always personally really liked Rapidmon becoming Fujinmon, for example. This creepy angelic robot is so different.
Bandai, just make it canon. Oh wait, maybe they already did. I don't know. Time after time is a strange stand for him.
different, setting it apart, which I think is very much something that Zero 2 and even Tamers would do, but also it does hint at the Mega levels, Mega Gargomon and Cherubimon Virtue, because Taumon has a dark half. Thetamon. Theta's the symbol of death, and also the unknown variable in trigonometry. A dark, evil, fallen angel with blades for wings. That connection to the dark side of Lopmon coming through here. And all to...
Is it just me, or does this actually seem like the better DNA Digivolution?
together harking back to Cherubimon as a member of the three great angels. Plus, you know, Taumon, Thetamon, that means we get more Alphabetmon in our unofficial Greek alphabet group that includes Betamon, Alphamon, Omegamon. We'll get to those in a minute. But yes, great work by HLR, something so different but also familiar. I love it. And HLR wasn't done there, because there is another pair that I think are long overdue a DNA Digivolution. It just makes sense that Bielstarmon and Bielzamon should DNA Digivolve. The two counterpart gunslingers are finally united into the Ultra Digimon Dabielmon, drawn by HLR. Yes, Dabielmon is literally double Bielmon, but as well as literally just meaning double, the term double crops up in Bielstarmon and Bielzamon too, as Bielzamon has an attack called Double Impact, and Bielstarmon has an attack called Double Claw. So the two coming together who both have double attacks becoming a Dabielmon just makes sense. This is a gunslinger with glowing rifles surrounding it, making it totally intimidating, which cements it really as also feeling like an ultra level for the Three Musketeers group of Bielstarmon, Magna Kidmon, and Gundramon. So it very much could also be used inside media, video games, etc. as perhaps a Bielstarmon and Magna Kidmon Jogress too, but it's definitely for Bielstarmon and Bielzamon in this instance, with its wings connecting it to Bielzamon Blast Mode, but also the X-antibodies of Bielzamon and Bielstarmon.
I mean,
I'm
look
quite
at that,
fond of this idea that mutation, Jogress, special Digivolution are somehow all connected. So things that you see happen when a Digimon reacts to the X-antibody could also be seen in Death Digivolution, or Jogress, or Armor. I like keeping some of those connections in a Digimon.
I actually do like the idea of Death X evolution. It's just kind of tricky to pull off. You literally have to have a character be killed, and then they can DNA Digivolve into another form. A prime example of that is like what happened with Myotismon in around the end of Season 1 of Digimon, when he became... No, not Venomyotismon. I forget what it was called. It was that big-ass one that had like the weird mouth and a waist.
Potential upgrade in power. An outlaw and protector, Dabielmon is a Robin Hood of the digital world that you don't want to get on the wrong side of, because if you do, you may be subject to Dabielmon's double demon barrage. Then next up...
Oop, hold on folks, we'll be right back. And we're back.
The two rivals who wreck the mic. Yes, Etamon and Volcamon, who become a burning techno DJ ready to plug in and rock out, that I have dubbed Nabemon, drawn by some guy 944. And some details that I love.
Okay, I'm not against it, but I'm not for it either. Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up and just move on.
That some guy 944 included here are the armor of Volcamon being present with that camo pattern down below, but still a very Etamon feel, with the fire erupting, the kind of engine parts on the helmet, but still that cheeky Etamon face. Regular Etamon has a Monzemon doll around his waist, so it makes so much sense that some guy 944 would include a Shin Monzemon doll, the new recently revealed evolution of Monzemon, around Nabemon's waist. The reason I chose the name Nabemon is twofold. First is that Nabe is Japanese for a hot pot or melting pot, and given this is a burning, literal melding of two Digimon, I just felt a melting pot was appropriate. But also, Volcamon and Etamon are Digimon who reference real-world Digimon creative or promotion team people. Volcamon being based on Volcano Ota, a planning director and voice actor who is instrumental in the Digimon franchise, and Etamon being based on Digimonkey, a promotional character for Digimon seen in V-Jump as well as other places. So to continue that legacy of homaging real-world people, Nabemon's name also comes from Kenji Watanabe, one of the basically fathers of Digimon, and a Digimon artist to this very day, responsible for some of the most iconic and recognizable art in the Digimon franchise. And while not super intentional in some guy 944's art, Mr. Watanabe is often seen sporting a hat and glasses, so the helmet and sunglasses of Nabemon are not a million miles away from that. Nabemon gets excited very easily and often often carried away, which is why sometimes friends and foes can be on the receiving end of his superstar DJ destruction. Speaking of rivals, another huge rivalry in Digimon is that of Leomon and Ogamon, the two frenemies duking it out in different iterations across the franchise. But when they set their differences aside and unite, they become Herculeomon, drawn by Dry Designs. Herculeomon is based on the Hercules and the Labors myth, as well as folding in some elements of Onis from the Ogamon side and Chinese lions. Hercules himself is often represented with a bow and arrow instead of a club. So Dry thought since Ogamon already had a club, it would be cool to change things up a bit and turn that bone club into a bone arrow. Bow and arrow. Good.
Okay, no, that is a stretch of a pun, I'll let you know that. But it was still a kind of a good pun. I mean, there's another way of saying it, but it probably wouldn't walk too well, so moving on.
Leomon and Ogamon are two of the strongest Digimon and eternal rivals, so Dry thought when they combined, their power would become immeasurable. While this is a DNA Digivolution of two champions, this Digimon is probably an ultimate, but with the power level of a Mega or even beyond. Herculeomon is constantly looking for strong Digimon to defeat, to the point where it has challenged the Olympus 12 for a chance to join their pantheon. The deity Digimon, however, will only accept the challenge once Herculeomon completes 12 laborious tasks, one from each member of the Olympus 12. And its final labor is to defeat Titamon, which it will attempt with its bone bow that fires arrows composed of the same energy as Leomon's signature attack, a devastating barrage known as the Supreme Beast King's Strike. Next up, one that I've wanted to see for probably 20 years, Golden Rapidmon and Magnamon. Two shining Golden Armor Digivolutions, but I've always wondered if they could go one step
double the gold, double the form.
beyond. And as they were the two signature Golden Armor Digivolutions of Digimon the movie, or Hurricane Touchdown specifically, I've always wondered if they could kind of unite and go one step beyond to an even greater, more powerful form, which is what led Soru to creating Auramon. Some absolutely wonderful details here. First of all, the wings and kind of head pieces are a mix of blue and green, Vmon and Terriermon. It also has samurai armor, connecting back to Japan, but also kind of the Americanization of samurai movies. And in that, alluding to Omnimon, and indeed even Omnimon Merciful Mode had a katana. So Auramon is not an Omnimon, but is connected or draws from a similar power, in the same way that Omni Shoutmon, or indeed Imperialdramon Paladin Mode do. I love that Soru included both sets of eyes of Magnamon and Rapidmon peak.
Okay, no, that's actually a little creepy. You got two sets of eyes. So how will you talk to him? Instead of looking like left and right, you gotta look left, right, up, down, left, right, center. It's just okay. A little bit on the eyes. That's a bit
Now,
much.
it's rare that a DNA Digivolution will have 4 eyes, but it just works, I think. It's kind of creepy, but also feels very powerful. I like it. I'm also so impressed with the way that Soru mixed the Miracles and Destiny crests in a very similar way to how Omnimon has a mix of courage and friendship. Great detail. Soru kind of jokingly gave it the file name Orumon, which is unfortunately a common official misspelling of Owlmon, but I love the idea of Auramon. And I thought it was inspired on Soru's part because AU is the chemical symbol for gold, and this is a meeting of 2 Golden Armor Digimon. But in addition to AU being gold, RA is the chemical symbol for radium, which kind of matches the color of Auramon's wings and helmet's power, as well as adding an indication of danger to this powerful armor Digimon with the power of an ultra level Digimon, because you don't really want to mess around with radium too much. But a golden radiating Digimon of intense power, striking out with its axe and cannon. Auramon will bring peace to the battlefield with its golden assault signature move. And yes, finally, that brings us to the end. The beginning has come to the end. The Alpha and the Omega. The superior Alpha.
Okay, hold on. Was his camera just out of focus? Yeah, because I got this at a pretty good quality, so his camera was just out of focus.
Alphabetmon unite at last, putting their differences aside to become one of the most powerful Digimon in the history of the digital world, Fathermon, drawn by Weirdomon. I did consider using another Greek letter here, as we've had so many Alphabetmon on this video already. I like the idea of Mumon, as Mu is the 12th letter of the Greek alphabet, literally meeting in the middle of Alpha and Omega, but Mu tends to refer to things being micro and small, which didn't feel appropriate for this Digimon. I wanted something that really indicated this Digimon was quite literally the Alpha and the Omega, a Digimon god. And unfortunately, there is already an
so this guy can pretty much rival Yggdrasil.
Atmon called Deusmon, which is a shame because that is 100% the name I would choose for this guy. Deusmon would be so appropriate. So he could just also be Deusmon, ignoring the Atmon. Hell, there's a Raidramon Atmon and a kind of Raidramon, Lydramon, Digimon, as well as a few other Atmon that have the same name as Digimon, so we could do the inverse. But I'm happy with Fathermon, you know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh yeah,
the father of the digital world, and if not literally Digimon's god, perhaps working alongside them. An incredibly strong Digimon. I love the way that Weirdamon took the whites and the blacks of Omnimon and Alphamon and created this black, white, and grey melding. The cape being a mix of the two works fantastically. I love that he's literally holding the X antibodies, still keeping that relevant to the design. But also, it is containing powerful auras that erupt from this Digimon when it enacts divine judgment. And indeed, Alphamon Oryuken is part of this fusion, with Oryumon, Garurumon, and Greymon energy being a raging blast of purifying fire, ice, and draconic energy, unleashed upon all those judged full of sin by Fathermon in its divine zero judgment.
Love it.
And
love
that
it.
is it. DNA Digivolution.
Alright, I'll go ahead and say it. Fathermon, 10 thumbs up. Because that is honestly the best out of this whole episode. Second best would have to go to then Oramon, with third going to Sarukamon, or Serakaomon, however he said it. And these three, top 3 of my favorite of this episode. Love it.
That I think we are dearly missing from Digimon, but of course consider this a part 1. This is not an exhaustive list of DNA Digivolutions that I think we're missing, so we are definitely going to do a part 2, and let me know in the comments down below other DNA Digivolutions you'd love to see, but these ones on screen right now are just so absolutely amazing. Please make sure you go follow all their artists, links are in the description down below. And thank you to you for watching, thank you to our sponsor of today's video, Whatnot. Please do make sure you go sign up with my invite link in the description down below. Whatnot is a hugely supportive sponsor of this channel, really helps the channel out, lets more custom art happen, and we're trying to get specifically as many first-time
Alright folks, I think that's going to be the end of today's episode. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original video will be in the description below, and I'll see all you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.